Okay, we would like to welcome you to Quilt Show Reno's live on May 12th. I can't believe the show is only 3 weeks away. I'm super excited. We have a lot of things that we're doing a little bit differently this year. The first one, well, first off, I want to make sure that you have your hotel. If you don't have your hotel yet, go and get it at the Grand Sierra Resort. You can go to the website, which is scrolling on the bottom of the screen, and book your hotel, book your classes. The classes, a lot, we do have some that have already sold out. So you're going to want to make sure you get your tickets soon. But we do have a special, I'm super excited. We have a special fashion show happening this year. And we have Nick here. And I'm just going to bring him right on. Hey, Rondi, how are you? Okay, I'm going to bring Nick on so that you guys can, let's see here. It's always crazy trying to add when I've got multiple people here. It's probably going to add everybody. Okay, hang on a second. I have to remove everybody individually. Okay, hang on. I should have done this before, but it always seems like it's different every time. Okay, so we have Nick here. Nick is a winner, I believe. I've kind of heard through the grapevine, but you're a winner of Project Runway, aren't you?
Yes, Project Runway Under the Gun, which was a spinoff with Tim Gunn, where actually, instead of designers, there were only 3 mentors that he picked, 3 designers as mentors, and we had our own designers. So at the end of the entire show, the designer that won and the mentor that was mentoring the designer, they both won, and it was me.
Wow, well, congratulations. Yeah. That's pretty exciting.
Thanks.
So have you been sewing your whole life, or is this kind of just something you fell into, or what made you decide to pick up designing dresses and all kinds of crazy things?
First of all, hello to everyone and happy day after Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I'm so excited to be here. In terms of sewing, it seems like I've been doing it my whole life, but actually I didn't start sewing until I started going to fashion school, which was, and I'm going to age myself, early 90s, 1990-ish, 92. So now it's been, what is that? 35 years, 40 years? It's been a while. So I've been sewing for several decades now, for sure. My first sewing machine was a Singer, and it was my grandma's sewing machine. And then, of course, after I graduated from fashion school, I had to get a Juki. So, of course, I got the industrial sewing machine. And then after I started my business, my design company, we had Jukis as well. And I've always been sewing. To this day, if we're making a custom gown for red carpet, for the Oscars, Emmys, I still, along with my partner, we still sew the sample, what we call the muslin, the sample before we hand it off to I would say, a more qualified sewer who sews the final gown, the final dress.
Perfect. So, you're going to be at Quilt Show Reno this time for the very first time, right?
Yeah, this is the first time in Reno. I just got back about 2 months ago. I went to the Atlanta Sewing and Quilt Show as well. And I was there for a week teaching classes along the amazing Joe Vecchiarelli, the one and only. And I've known Joe as long as I've told you I've been sewing, by the way.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's a long time. I say that I was 12 when I met him.
Yeah.
And he was 14. But it's been I've known him for such a long time because he was such an icon of LA and the LA garment industry. And his company, which was called Vecchiarelli Brothers at the time, was the only place you could get pattern paper. The only place you could get muslin. The only place. So after I finished fashion school, I was like, and I was getting all my stuff for free at the fashion school. And when I started teaching, it's so funny. Many years later, I would tell my students, I'm like, roll up the pattern paper that's right here in the classroom and keep rolling and take it with you and take all the muslin. I was trying to tell them that after you're done, because your mommy and daddy or yourself done paid for this college, that you then have to pay for the, supplies yourself.
Right.
And so anyhow, long story short, I didn't know where to get it. And I found out that Vecchiarelli was the place to go. So I've known him for that long, and full circle moment. Now I teach with him. in just, you know, in some of the places he goes, and this is one of them, Reno. So I'm excited to go to Reno, and I'm going to teach along with him some classes for sleeves, how to make sleeves. And I've done this before with him, which is really fun and exciting for all the students. And they are, you know, he has a groupie. He has a group, you know, I call them, you know, the Joe Vicarelli, Joe's ladies, but there could be some gentlemen there too, as well. And so we do sleeves, we do pants, how to make your own pant. And this is really great for people of all sizes, you know, because it's really difficult to find something of your size. So you basically, at the end of the week, the Joe's ladies and gentlemen, with my help, you know, come out with their own basic custom pattern for themselves, which then they can buy fabric and cut themselves a top, a pant, and you know, whatever right. They could do. So that's, you know, but the creme de la creme is the fashion show that I'm going to be doing on Friday at the end of the whole Reno quilt show. And that's going to be Friday, June, I believe, what is that? June 6th. Yeah, June 6th from 6 to 8. And it's going to be at what they call the fashion stage. Very fancy. And so get your tickets. It's only $18. And I'm going to have a fabulous show, fashion show. We're going to have a model displaying some of my gowns, my red carpet gowns. I've dressed Beyonce, Katy Perry, and I'm going to give you the inside dish on how those dresses are created. So literally, I'm going to ask the audience to come on up and get close and personal to see what's inside the dress, inside the gown. And then I'm going to have several dresses on dress forms as well. And we're going to have a live draping session. Now, I'm going to be draping, but I'm going to see if I can ask the powers at be at the Reno Quilt Show if maybe we can get some audience participation and get some of the audience to actually drape. And if that's not enough, I'm hoping, Beth, let me just say, I'm hoping, wishing, praying that instead of just draping with muslin or draping with like some beautiful silk, which I don't mind doing, I would love for the first time ever to drape using quilting fabric.
That sounds super exciting. I'm looking forward to it for sure. So if somebody has never done garment sewing, would these classes be good for them? And I know the answer already because I am not a garment sewer, but I took probably 5 classes from Joe last year, and I would sign up in a heartbeat to take him again this year. I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge.
Yes, he's a wealth of knowledge, years, decades of knowledge. And you know, the way that I love the way that he teaches and the way that I also teach, because again, I've been taught, and so I sort of have, and we both have been taught, so we know to break it down and not get fancy about it. So it's, you know, we're just sewing clothes. We're just putting pieces together. It's not rocket science. And, you know, so it's something that we make even the people that have never done it before just seemed easy and approachable. And I think that's the gem in Joe's teaching as well as my teaching, that it's something that even if you're just a quilter, I think that this is something it's invaluable knowledge. I mean, you're sewing, so it's like additional sewing. So you're learning techniques of that, but more importantly, also draping. You're using a 3D dress form to mold fabric on the body. And, you know, even though it might not necessarily apply to your love of quilting, but you never know, it adds maybe another dimension to your quilting and your love of quilting. And like I said, maybe if you take his classes and let's say how to make a sleeve, so instead of a regular sleeve added to like a denim front and back of a jacket, then maybe you make yourself a beautiful quilt and you cut that quilt fabric out of the sleeve that you made. And then you sew that sleeve on, and there you go. You have a custom jacket top that you did for yourself.
Right. I actually have one of those mannequins behind you, and I just used it last week while making I quilted up a bunch of fabric and then cut it up to make a vest. So hopefully I'll have it done in time for Quilt Show Reno.
Amazing.
Yes. Okay, so I'm super excited. And if they've never done the pants,
Yeah.
I mean, because for a lot of our quilters, they're not necessarily wanting to make fashion gowns and that's it.
No.
They want,
Right.
we like to be comfortable as quilters.
Yeah.
But the pants, the class that you guys are teaching on the pants,
Yeah.
it is a great class for everybody because you're basically it's one of the most comfortable patterns. Joe's going to measure you, and I'll tell you the best tip that I got from his class, which I would never have guessed, was that you have to add 2 inches to your waistline, so that when you bend over, you don't have that little plumber's crack.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You don't realize. Yeah, you got to add to it. So exactly, because when you sit, it's so funny. We always do that when we do fittings on pants. We ask the model or, the client, we're like, you need to sit. And so again, and then all of a sudden we turn around and we see, like you said, the plumber's butt, and you see that much showing. So we know exactly that's how much we need to add to the crotch, to that crotch area. And it's something that, it's you, like you said, you'll learn so much. Not just that, but you get to make your own pants. Let me just say, I know people know this, sewers, even if you just sew quilts, pants are probably some of the most difficult things to fit. And I always say to both men and women, when you find a pant or a pant from a company that fits you, like eat, drink it, smother it, do whatever you can, buy 10 of them until they go out of business, because that means that their fit model resembles your shape. And so that's why a lot of times you find a lot of people say, the only pants I fit are by so-and-so or by Theory or by whatever. It's that reason. And so stick to it. But with Joe's class, pant, literally, we are taking your measurements, like you said, and we're making pants just for you. And then, like I said, the fashion show, it's I always say, put the fuchsia in the window. You always put the big gowns at the end. And that's why the fashion show is all about, the sparkles and the gowns and the dresses, even though, like you said, most people don't do that, and I do. My company, I design dresses for the red carpet and stuff, but I also give you just real life education and knowledge that, yes, it applies. I'm showing you an example of a gown because it's just prettier to look at, instead of me showing you like, I always say, you put the fuchsia in the window, but gosh darn it, the women just go into the store and buy the black shift dress. And I'm like,
I might be guilty of that.
No, but I get it. But that's the whole point. See, yeah. I mean, it's merchandising 101. We don't get you into the store with that black shift dress in the window. We get you with the fuchsia. It doesn't have to be fuchsia, but we get you in there, and then yes, 9 times out of 10, y'all end up buying. And I'm guilty of that too, And so I like the fuchsia a lot more, as you can tell, but that's why that fashion show is it'll be a more, it might not be a realistic vision of fashion, but it's more about more red carpet fashion. It's what I do, but like I said, we're going to really definitely try and show the audience, get some audience participation. It's always been a lot of fun. When I've done these before, the one thing that I've heard from the audience is like, I didn't realize how much fun I would have, or again, because this is a quilt show, I didn't realize that this would be something that I would be interested in, and I'm glad that I attended. So it's one of those things, sometimes I open a magazine and I start reading a story and I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to get into it. Beth, before I know, it's been an hour and I've been reading and you know what I'm saying? Like Right. So, you never know. So I would love to see everybody in Reno, especially for the fashion event. Come to the show. It's going to be the Sunday with the cherry on top at the end of a week of teaching and learning and education and being with your fellow quilters.
Perfect. Perfect. I think it's going to be super exciting. I have been telling all my ladies and gentlemen to sign up for the fashion show because I just think it's going to be incredible. And it's one of those things you want to be able to say you went to the first one because I think it's going to be something we do every year. I think you're going to love it. You're going to have so much fun. We're going to want to do it every year. So
that would be amazing. And again,
yes.
I would love to somehow start a trend of getting. And you guys in Reno would say, like, this is where it happened. This is where it happened. The room where it happened. Where again, instead of just draping with muslin, like, you know, get some fabulous quilting fabric and let's do something with it. And in fact, I would love to see if the other, you know, people in the audience can like do something with the quilting fabric as well. So that would be. I hope somebody with the Reno Quilt Show is listening.
I think we can pull some strings.
Beth,
I think
Beth,
we're going to put our heads together.
You have connections.
Yeah, we're not sure what is going to happen at the fashion show. We're not going to disclose it right now because our little heads are still thinking. But we've got some great ideas. It's going to be super fun. I think it's going to be interactive. I think you're going to laugh. I mean, I don't know. You might want to take precautions in case. Because we're going to have a great time. We're going to be laughing. It's going to be a hoot.
Yes, it's definitely going to be a hoot for sure. And a nice, like I said, it'll be like a nice end to a week. I know that the week, listen, I haven't been, you know, the student at all the classes, but I have been the teacher. And I know I feel you instructors. It's a lot. I know It's a lot. So this is a way to just have a nice, relaxing cool down. Think of the fashion show as like having a pina colada in Reno, Nevada.
What I'm going to say, they could stop by and get a pina colada before they come to the fashion show. I mean, it's Reno. Anything goes. All right, Nick. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. And if we have any questions, we'll make sure we get them to you. All right. Have a great night, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, guys. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you in Reno, Nevada. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on with our camera. Okay, so we would like to invite. Hang on a second. I'm trying to get all the cameras going. We have Leigh Warren-Zip from Handi Quilter. And let me just add her here to the stage. And hi, Leigh, how are you?
Hi, how you doing, Beth?
Good, good. So you are with Handi Quilter. You're a long armor?
I'm a long armor. Yes, love it.
Okay, I'm just going to turn it right over to you, and you can tell us what classes you're offering. And I know it's going to be a big week for you. It is just hard for me to imagine that it's only 3 weeks away, but it's going to be a big week for you, and you have all kinds of classes going on pretty much every day.
Yeah, we have classes every day, 2 a day, lots of classes, 5 days of them. We have project-based classes. Those are going to be great for the long armor who's already been stitching away a little bit. And we have a 2-day basics for somebody who might be interested in a long arm or who just purchased, to learn all about your long arming, the computerized portion of it, the rulers, free motion, lots of tips, lots of tricks. And then we have another half a day of Pro Stitcher, which will be a little bit step up, more intense, still pretty beginner friendly, but definitely not for someone who hasn't touched it before. And then we also have, I think, another half a day of just more. It's going to be so much fun. The projects, there's a couple behind me. We have a pillow project. We have some exciting
So Leigh, if they've never long armed it before, and they're just kind of curious about if they would even be interested, this is a great opportunity for them to try it out. I love long arming. It's kind of like driving a race car. It's very fun. But if they've never done it before, would this be a good opportunity for them to kind of try? It's in my opinion, it's an inexpensive way to test it out, to try it, to learn. You guys are there to hold their hand and help them. It seems like this would be a perfect opportunity for them to sign up and learn all about long arms.
It's absolutely perfect opportunity. We're going to have 12 Amaras, Handi Quilter Amara 20s with Pro Stitcher. Not all of the classes will be with the computer. So it's perfect to get your hands all over it, play with them, ask questions. We can answer all those questions about size and, what might be a good fit for you. And you'll get a really, really good feel. It'll be a lot of stitching, a lot of fun. There'll be 2 to a machine. So, it will be definitely lots of time. Perfect for the person who hasn't long armed and is thinking about making that step for sure.
Perfect.
And even those who have long arms, they're going to learn, especially the project-based ones, they get to learn how much else they can do with their long arm.
And we might have some people on here that they just can't take classes, even though I think that is kind of crazy. Like, take the classes, I love education. I feel like you got to take all the classes you possibly can. But if by chance they couldn't take a class, can they find you on the show floor? Are you in a booth?
Absolutely. I was going to make sure I mentioned that. Sierra Sewing and Quilting, that's the booth. We'll be there. The regional manager for Handi Quilter will be there with Sierra Sewing and back, and we'll be able to talk about anything. And that's where, if you can't go to class, go to that booth. They'll have all the machines set up to try them out. I think they'll probably have a Moxie there, the Amara 2024. I'm not sure about the Infinity, our largest one, but I think they might. But they definitely would have all of them there, and you can still go there to test drive them all.
Perfect. Okay, so if you haven't checked out the classes, you can go to www.quiltshowreno.com, and under teachers, you can just look up Leigh's information, which is at the bottom of the screen.
And Lana.
Anna, are you guys co-teaching, or are you?
We're pretty much co-teaching, or switching back and forth during the day.
Okay, spell her name for them so that they know what classes to look up.
Okay, I'm gonna see if
I knew I'd ask you something tough.
No, I know I gotta get my glasses on. I was gonna see if I could find the classes for each of us individuals. Lana, Lana Lewis, Lewis, and me.
Okay, and all the teachers are listed under instructor's name or under type of classes, so you can look them up either
long
way.
Arm. If you look up long arm quilting classes, they'll come up. Handi Quilter long arm quilting classes for sure.
Perfect. Okay, anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I'm excited to go back to Reno. I was there last year. It was a fantastic show, a great time. And if anybody's in the area, they should definitely come.
Perfect. And when you're not teaching, will you be on the show floor so they can come down and say hi to you?
Certainly. Absolutely.
Perfect. So you can find Leigh in the Sierra Sewing booth. And if you have any questions, you can always give Sierra Sewing a call, and Jared would be happy to answer any questions that you have. If you are local and you kind of want to get a jump start on looking at the Handi Quilters, you can call Jared and he would be happy to set up an appointment, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, Leigh. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Beth.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next we have Keegan from Going Batty. We did interview him a few weeks ago, but he was coming back from a show, so he did it from his car. But we're super excited. He's in his shop right now. He's going to give us kind of a tour of his shop and show us his make and takes and tell us about the quilts that are the quilting, not quilting machines, the sewing machines, the Bernina sewing machines that he's going to have in one of the classrooms. He's sponsoring the Bernina sewing machines. So Keegan, wait, you're muted.
Hello, there we go.
Hello. Okay, I'm just going to turn it right over to you because you know exactly
Perfect.
what you want to say.
Sounds good. Well, I am going to flip the camera around, hopefully. Let's see.
Well,
Wonder
that was
if
a
I
cute
can.
picture.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's me and my wife. How do I flip the camera on this? Can you or can we not? Probably not. Probably not.
It would be on your device, so you should be able to.
More settings, camera. Oh, there we go. Got it.
So,
Back,
as you
triple
guys all
camera.
know who are watching us, we are quilt shop owners and fabric designers and pattern designers and all that. We just kind of got thrown into being techie also. So we do our best.
I'm
All
like, Facebook Live, I got that, but this one, I don't know where it went. Anyway,
Right.
welcome to our shop. We carry tons of fabric and obviously the full line of Bernina sewing machines. We have been the #1 Bernina dealer in the Western District for the past 5 months. So that's really great and speaks volumes for our customers as well that come and support us. I kind of want to show you the 3 make and takes that we're making in the booth. When you do our 3 make and takes that are $5 a piece, you get entered to win a Bernina 335 sewing machine from Going Batty as well. So if you come over here, these are the 3 7 series machines that we're offering in the classroom. The Bernina 735, 770 Quilters Edition, as well as the 770 Quilters Edition CAFE Special Edition, and the 790 Pro. I'll talk a little bit more about the sewing machines in particular and the deals that we're giving with them after I talk about the make and takes. But we have the 3 different make and takes in the booth. The first one is this. You can either make it as a mug rug or a pot holder, so either standard batting or Insel Bright, and it's completely pieced, quilted, and bound all on the overlocker machine, so a serger. And a serger is a naughty word for a lot of people, but this project will make it seems very, very easy for you to do quilting applications on a overlocker machine. So this one's $5. It's in our booth all 3 days that we're in the booth for the show. Additionally, we have the freestanding lace bookmarks. These are all done in the hoop on a water soluble stabilizer. And so really fun introduction to embroidery and being able to get your feet wet with that. So this is also $5 in our booth. Make one and leave with a finished project. And then last but not least, we have a zipper pouch on the sewing side using decorative stitches, being able to manipulate and blow up different decorative stitches on the Bernina machines to create kind of your own new fabric. And then, insetting a zipper and lining here as well. This is also $5. Okay, so all 3 of our make and takes are $5. Do all 3 for $15, obviously, and get entered to win the Bernina 335 sewing machine. Awesome. So, do you think I explained that well enough, Beth, or do you have questions? Okay, cool. Awesome. So the 3 different sewing machines that we have available with the at the show that we're having in the classrooms are all the 7 series machines with the 10-inch arms and the double-sized bobbin, which is a Bernina exclusive. All of the machines are going to come with a myriad of free gifts that we're offering just exclusively at Going Batty, just because we can and we got permission to. So most of the machines are coming with free modules, free luggage, free largest hoops, and all at pre-tariff pricing. So because we purchased all of these machines prior to May 15th, when Bernina is going to change their pricing on the machines, unfortunately, we're able to offer all of that and extend it through the end of the show because we ordered a bajillion dollars worth of machines before the actual show. So all of them come with multiple different myriad of free gifts. If I will say that if you are interested in a 790 Pro especially, almost all of these are already pre-sold prior to the show. So if you know that you're in the market for a new machine and want to try them out and be able to get them at amazing prices with a bunch of free gifts, then I would recommend coming down to the shop and putting down a deposit, because the machines are going very, very, very fast. But let me take, yes.
Where is your shop? Just in case we have people.
Yes.
I know we got some people in Sacramento watching.
Well, yeah, we are on 9744 South Virginia Street, Suite C in Reno, down south of town by the Winco Shopping Center. So if we point the camera out to our view out here, we are literally facing the freeway. So you can see the big pink sign from the freeway and come on in and see all the pretty color on the inside. So let me take you, we're open every single weekday and Saturdays. Weekdays from 10 to 6, Saturdays from 10 to 5. We are closed on Sundays. But I know that that is a source of confusion for a lot of people, because before me and my wife bought the store was open like 2 or 3 days a week or something ridiculous like that. And so but we are now open 6 days a week. So that's awesome. So we have our machine area all up front, and cabinets and long arms and everything like that. And then we are going to bring in a lot of thread, pre-cuts, kits, patterns, books, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be a minimum of 30 to 50% off in our booth, in addition to sewing machines. So we'll have a myriad of notions, accessories, thread, fabric, etc. in our booth. We have 4 booths this time, so we have a 20 by 20 booth right at the front door. So you can't miss us, number one, but number two, we'll have a little bit of everything for everyone. So, and all at show specials, because people that know me know I like a good sale. So let's see. One of the things that we're going to have in the booth, I'm going to show this off. Besides the Laura style. So Jenna's behind the camera. She's kind of showing everybody so everyone can say hi to Jenna, because she's awesome.
And she's doing an excellent job. She hasn't made me dizzy yet.
Yay! This is good. She's very grateful to hear that, actually. She was worried about it. One of the things that we're going to be bringing to the booth is all of our Kimberbell stuff. We are clearancing all of it off at 60% off in the booth. So if you are a Kimberbell fan, then all of that will be in the booth at 60% off. We'll have a selection of stabilizers. We'll have a little bit of everything in the booth, but a couple of things to take note of for people that are watching. So number one, we do have a bounce back coupon that was printed in our full page ad in the show newsletter that you'll receive at the front door. So take advantage of that and bring it down to the store. That's valid the whole month of June to get 30% off one item in store, because obviously we're not bringing the whole store. And so if you want a specific thing from the store that has no exceptions except for machine, software, and cabinets, unless you want to take 30% off of MSRP, and then I will gladly take that, because that's more, you'll end up paying more than our sale prices on the machines and stuff. But number two, and it's something that I wanted to announce closer to the actual show, is that we're going to have 3 technicians working from Tuesday until Saturday on doing a show machine servicing special. So it is on all makes and models. You can either drop your machines off from Tuesday the 3rd to Friday the 6th, I believe it is, yeah, to have your machines done by the 7th of June for a just general service and cleaning on all makes and models for $59. So you can either drop those off in the booth and they will be done there at the hotel on site, or drop them off here at the store if that's more convenient for you on all of the days of the show. So
wait, did you just say $59 all makes, all models?
That is correct, Beth. Yes.
Holy cow.
I'm insane.
Yeah.
My technicians also think I'm insane.
Yeah. The last time I took my Juki in, I think it was like $200 or $250 for a servicing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really pricey. And so we want to, I've done this at several shows before, not in Nevada, but in Utah and other states, and it always goes over really well. And so we just want to offer and give something back to the sewing community here local. Or even if you're from Northern California or traveling in, it's a great time to bring in your machines, honestly, to be able to take advantage of such a great deal on servicing. So
Do you also do scissor sharpening by chance?
yes, we will be doing scissor sharpening at $3 a pair.
$3 a pair?
Yeah, during the same thing. So we don't do curved blades or pinking shears, but we do all straight blades.
Wow.
$3 a pair.
Did you guys hear that? Bring your scissors to the show, and they'll get them serviced during the show for $3.
Yes,
Holy
indeed.
cow.
Yeah,
That does not work on the perfect scissors, though, does it?
No, because those are serrated. Yeah.
Serrated, yeah.
So no micro serrated, no pinking shears, and no curved blades, but everything else counts. So dressmaker shears, straight scissors, the Fiskars for paper, like whatever you want to bring in, we'll sharpen. So
wow, that's crazy.
right? Yeah. So sewing machine services, $59. I'll make some models you can either drop off at the hotel or at the shop. Now, as a thing to note is through general, all of our services, we don't send anything out. And so that's going to be the same principle. I've booked a string of rooms for my technicians to be able to do the servicings on site at the hotel. And then, obviously we have all of our stations here to do all the servicings here in the store. So they will not leave the hotel if they're dropped off at the hotel, and they will not leave the shop if they're dropped off at the shop. So you can drop anytime between the 3rd and the 7th. We just ask that if you drop them off, that if you plan on dropping them off Tuesday through Tuesday or Wednesday before the show, you contact us beforehand so that we can meet you at the Bernina classroom to be able to facilitate that and not disrupt classes, because obviously we won't be in our booth until Thursday. So
wow, that's pretty incredible.
Okay.
That's pretty exciting, actually.
Yes, exactly. So that's all in I just figured that I should announce it because it's in our ad, and I don't know when those are going out because I think those are coming out soon, at least digitally. So I wanted to explain that, but otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Lots of exciting deals and opportunities for everybody on new machines and servicing their current machines at the show. So we're really excited to come.
Perfect. All right. Well, I think you explained it perfectly. I don't have any questions there. But I do think they are pretty excited about getting their machines serviced for $59 and their scissors sharpened for $3. That you can't beat that. Anyway.
No. Nope.
So I'm super excited to see you at Quilt Show Reno, and it's only 3 weeks away. If anybody's watching this and you have any questions, you can always give Keegan a call at Going Batty, and he'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we'll see everybody in Reno in 3 weeks. Have a great week and go get some sewing done. Bye.
Thanks, Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.